Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, which means that I'm going to be racing 30 kilometers in about 2.5 hours. And I'm not really that nervous today. The first two races kind of get the nerves out of you, and a 30-kilometer race with three 10-kilometer laps, that first lap isn't as intimidating because you don't go as hard, especially on that long 2-mile climb right out of the start. I'm going to take it rather comfortably and try to ski well. And more importantly, I'm looking out the window and it is snowing. We got about, looks like maybe 1.5 to 2 inches of snow last night. It's below freezing at the moment. For my race, I think it's going to warm up to about 33 Fahrenheit or +1 Celsius. So I'm hoping that the snow isn't too packy. Yesterday when it was snowing and I did the ski up the valley, it was kind of sticky and mushy, but hopefully the below freezing temps last night made more powdery snow, and if they groom that into the slush, which hopefully firmed up with the freeze, maybe we can get some decent skiing. But then again, you race on what's there. Everybody has to race on what is available to them. So my race is going off at 10:05, quite a bit later than the 8:30 start when some of the women go off. So they're going to have probably better snow and they'll have some fast times. Anyway, my last minute or last couple hour preparations, I'm doing some beet juice, drinking this whole bottle here. Why do I do beet juice? Because it's got compounds in it that your body turns into nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator, which means that it widens your blood vessels and allows you to move more oxygen. And especially here at altitude, I need all the help that I can get. So making my blood vessels a little bit more relaxed and wider to move more oxygen in blood is a good thing. I don't like the taste of beets, but this is what racing tastes like. It tastes like beet juice. So when I put that in my mouth, it's like, oh, it tastes like racing today. And then out there on the course, I'm going to be carrying a Koksa, which I think is a Swedish company. And if you watch any of the long ski races like the Vasaloppet or the Birkebeiner, you'll see many of the athletes wearing these Koksa waist belts. So it's basically a waist strap with a big pocket that has a bladder in it that can carry up to 1 liter of liquid, and it's pretty flat and stable. It doesn't bounce around on you at all. And you connect a hose to it, which has a race valve, they call it, which you squeeze and suck a little bit and you get liquid. So this is going to be filled with a combination of water, slightly warm, and just regular sugar with some electrolyte powder. So I'm going to make my own sports drink for the race. And then this tube here, you pin a Velcro patch to your chest, so it's right here. And when I'm on the downhills, I can just bend over and get some liquid. So I'll be able to recover on every downhill without trying to fumble around with a water bottle. Anyway, here we go. See you in a bit.
Der Toni Lievers, richtig Schlusskurve gekommen. Wenn ich das richtig gesehen habe, dann muss das der Toni Lievers sein, der zum Sieg laufen wird in der Kategorie M3.
I'm sitting here processing and going over what happened today in the 30K. And I have to say it was my best performance of the 3 races, but probably not the way that most people would think. It wasn't my best placement. I got 11th place, but the way that I skied was better than the 2 races prior. In fact, it might have been one of my best races ever. So let's break that down. What happened? The snow was pretty firm, and the new snow was sticky. It wasn't fast snow. So you had kind of a lane of hard-packed, icy slush in the middle that had frozen overnight. And then on either side of it, you had soft new snow, which had a lot of suction in it. So the goal for most of the race was to find the fast snow. there were moments where I was trying to pass people and I'd go off to the side to get around them and I'd hit the new snow and slow right down. So there was a lot of movement back and forth across the trail with everybody trying to find the good, faster snow. So the start, I let everybody get away, even at the double pole right out of the gate. I didn't try to hold on to a good position. Probably let 8 or 10 people get ahead of me at that point because I wanted to take that first 2-mile climb very gently. That doesn't mean easy, but I didn't want to push it. So it was moderately hard rather than hard. And that felt really good. I didn't have the altitude breathing problems. And when we got to the top of the climb, the leaders were not far ahead of me. They might have been 5 to 8 seconds ahead. So they were right there and I was feeling good. And on that climb, even moving at a somewhat comfortable pace, I moved myself up into 4th. So the first downhill between the two big sections of the climb, 2 guys shot by me very, very fast. And I thought, oh no, my skis, which felt good climbing, were clearly being outperformed. So when we got to the final section of the long climb, I tried to reel them back in and got pretty close to the lead pack as well. But then when we rounded the corner for the long downhill, they were all pulling away from me. So I did not have good skis. And you never know what is going to work and what's not going to work. I used a brand. I won't tell you what it is because I don't want people to not buy it. It's very good wax when it works. But people that were on 2 other specific brands, one Italian and one Swiss, they had really good skis. So with all the new fluoro testing in place, I don't think people were using fluoros. Their skis weren't ridiculously fast, but they were significantly faster that on a long downhill they'd put 10 or more seconds on you. But we'd get to these little climbs throughout the remainder of the loop and I'd reel people back in. But then suddenly, after a long downhill, I just felt gassed. I was done. And we turned the corner to do a little climb and there were some people that I was hoping to catch back up to and I had to start walking. I couldn't really exert myself. And I thought, oh no, what happened? Like I haven't been skiing hard. What's going on? And I kept trying, thinking I could get my breathing back. And then I thought, look at your watch, which has my heart rate on it. And I looked down my watch and it was in the 180s. And my heart rate does not go into the 180s unless I'm having an SVT attack. So that not only sucks the wind out of you, but mentally it was like, oh crap, that's it. I have to drop out. My race is over. Because even when I'm standing still, it takes about 5 minutes to get the SVT attack to stop. But I've learned some new techniques from Elvis's demise and also from ear, nose, and throat doctors, which are different than cardiologists. So you go to a cardiologist and they're going to tell you about a Valsalvo maneuver, which is something you can do to kind of get your heart back in check. But ear, nose, and throat people will tell you a different way to do it. And then Elvis passed doing another version, which is the most extreme. So I've been trying this in the past few months. So basically, you're pushing like you're on the toilet, but also clenching at the same time. And you're plugging your nose and like trying to pop your ears and coughing. So it's like a cough as you blow your ears out and as you push to evacuate. I'm trying to be very politically correct with my language here. Elvis was on the toilet when things went south, or didn't go south, and that was the problem. Anyway, so I'm in the race, like trying not to evacuate while coughing and blowing my nose, and I'm doing this very loudly and very aggressively. And as I'm going through cheering people and moving at a snail's pace because I'm out of gas. And I did that for maybe 30 seconds and looked at my heart rate and it was in 150. Okay, so gently start getting back into a little more performance again, pick up the pace, see what happens. 152. Okay, maybe we got through this. So I went a little longer, 153. We got to climb now. I was afraid it was going to jump back at 180 on the climb, but nope, stayed in the mid 150s. So we're good. I not only cured the attack pretty quickly, it lasted about 5 minutes. I'll show you the heart rate data from Strava, but the attack lasted for 5 minutes. But even so, I was able to keep moving, which I've never been able to do in a race before. I have to stop, and I'll just pull over to the side of the trail and take 5 minutes to try to clear it. But I didn't have to do that. So then I was able to finish the first lap. People got way ahead of me at that point. But I finished that first lap in pretty good position. It might have been sixth. I was still in a solid spot there. And then on lap 2, I felt really good going up the climb. Heart was okay. The snow was getting a little bit softer. People were mushing it up because so many people had been going around the loop, so many different races. And then got to the downhill again, and a couple Swiss guys passed me. The Swiss skis were super fast yesterday. And then a couple more guys went down past me. We finished the climb, and I tried to reel them back in, but couldn't do it. Finally, 2 guys that passed me in the middle of the third lap, and my goal was to stay with them. I don't care how far they get ahead of you on the downhills, stay with them, reel them back in, give it everything you've got. I had another heart trigger because I was really bearing down, but I got that one. I nipped it in the bud before it became a full-blown attack. So that also felt good. So I managed 2 SVT attacks in the race. And that right there is a gigantic success for me. And I did hold close to those guys. Their skis were fast enough that I could not bridge that gap. But finished in 11th. Feeling that I skied really strong. I skied smart. I did everything I could. The coxa worked brilliantly. I was able to get nutrition and a little bit of sugar in my mouth quite often. And you don't even need to take lots of it. It's just about the taste of sugar on your tongue actually sends signals to your brain that nutrition is coming, and your brain gives you, or your body gives you, more energy. Long before the sugar ever would have been digested, just the taste of the sugar in your mouth can actually release more energy. Yeah, it's not the results that most people probably wanted to see from me, and there's a part of me as well, with this project that was hoping that, hey, wouldn't it be great if I could get another 4th place or maybe even a little better using this gentle approach? That would be great advertising. That would get people to want to do it, but it's kind of ridiculous because I'm still, one race top 10 and 2 other races top 12 at a world championship. That's still pretty amazing considering I don't train hard. I'm just very comfortably moving throughout the day, every day, never to the point of this sucks. So it's still a great advertisement, but that one part of me is like, yeah, but if you're not on the podium or close to the podium, you somehow failed. So I've got to be very gentle with that voice and not have it dominate this experience for me. And one more thing that I failed to mention, Tony Levers, who is a Swiss Olympian, he started 15 minutes behind me in the M3 category. And I was hoping that I could hold him off. Dario Colonia and Roman Ferger were going to be 20 minutes back, but Tony was 15. And my goal was to try to hold him off as long as I could on that third lap. And I actually finished maybe 40 seconds in front of him, so he never caught me. And you can say, wow, 15 minutes. But when you see an elite skier and you see how much power they generate, and it's extraordinary to watch them ski. If you've never seen it in person, it'll blow your mind how strong these athletes are and how much speed they generate, how much power. So to be able to hold him off is pretty cool. And the athletes in front of me too, really extraordinary athletes. It's not just that my heart and the altitude and the other things prevented me from being on the podium. These guys are amazing. I'm in awe of what they do and their performances. And even if everything went perfectly today, maybe I could have been fighting for 4th place. I don't think the perfect day, I don't think I would have done better than that, because these guys are, they're just exceptional. They're the best in the world. So just to be anywhere near them in the same race is just, it's exciting. It brings a little tears to my eyes thinking about it, because it's an honor to be here. Anyway, that's it for now. I will send you some footage of Cloisters and Switzerland as I now have a couple days off to hang out here and see what's going on, take some tours. I'll check in with you soon. Peace out.